I'm Katrina and this is So and Tare. And today we are making deviled eggs. So, deviled quail eggs. Awesome to make, teeny tiny, fun for a party, and we're gonna make it the easy way. Here we go. So I collected quail eggs for a few days. So I was busy doing other things this week and the beginning of the week, so I have a few days worth of quail eggs that were in the aviary, which means they're a little bit more dirty. So they do need to be washed, and this is a good way to wash them in batch, but then you just have to realize that when you go through them, you might have more to clean up, because some of them will get a little more dirty than others. So I'm just rolling this between my hands, and you can already see stuff is coming off the eggs. And that one's cracked because I know these were several days. Because I know these were several days in the aviary, any cracked ones I find, I'm just going to toss. So, you know, that has a bunch of poop on it. We're just going to maybe let that sit a little longer. And I just squashed one. Now when you collect every night, you don't get as dirty eggs. If they are going to be, you know, if you don't collect every day, they're going to be walking all over them. You know, it's just kind of what happens when you have quail in that space. Look at that interesting one. Now I'm going to be making deviled eggs with these. And when I make deviled eggs, I use the pressure cooker. Alright, so this is the third time through, and the water's fairly clean, so that's going to be my last time through. I just go until the water is more clear. Like I said, you might find chunks of poop on some of them, just because that does happen, and that'll just require extra washing, but in general, them rubbing up against each other and you know, go like that underneath, in between, that gets most of the poop off. Now because I want, because I have a large amount, and because I already have a New Wave, which is like an Instant Pot, it's a pressure cooker, any pressure cooker will do, I am going to use a pressure cooker to cook these eggs, to hard boil these eggs. Normally when you do this, you would put it on the stove, and that would go and you know, it would boil. You put them in for 3 minutes, stirring them constantly, and then taking them out. And what that will do, because the yolk and the whites are different densities, that will keep the yolk centered, which is kind of important for deviled eggs, which is what I'm making. But I have an alternate plan. I've done this before and it seems to work. I'm going to use the New Wave. When the New Wave, they sit, and they generally sit on their sides, and that's just how it works. When that happens, when it's peeled, you're going to get some yolks that are on the outside. You know, they're up against that edge. So what I do with that is I cut it in a way that half of it is good for deviled eggs and I use the other half for egg salad. So I'm making 2 products with this process, and I don't have to concentrate on making that egg yolk be in the center. So that's how I do it. I just don't stress about it, and I end up with 2 products, and I think it's great. So totally up to you if you want to hard boil them in water or in a pressure cooker, and totally up to you. So if you're doing it in water, it's a 3 to 5 minute boil. I've done that. 3 minutes is good. Some people like longer. If you're doing it in the pressure cooker, it's 2 minutes, and then the steam release, which usually lasts 2 minutes, and then bring it out. So it takes some time to get up to pressure, but in the end you really do come out with a product that's easier to peel. Now I'm going to be peeling with an electric egg peeler, but I'll show you how to peel it in a mason jar, and that's the best way if you don't have electric egg peeler. I just got it, and it works wonderful. So follow along as we do deviled eggs. This is the pressure cooker I have. It's called a New Wave. Instapot's the same exact thing, except for this one's huge. So we're gonna start by opening it up. We're gonna put some water in here. I'm going to be putting in some filtered water. And this works based on steam and pressure. So this steam is what's gonna cook them. That should be good enough. If you got like an Instapot, your machine likely came with instructions on how to do eggs. They're talking about chicken eggs. So chicken eggs is 5 to 6 minutes, and quail eggs are 2 minutes. You can stack as many as you want in here because it is a pressure driven cooking. Alright, so next step, we have our water in there, we have our eggs in there. Close it up. And something I found is that if you press down while you turn, it works a whole lot better. So I press down, turn so it's locked. You can hear it tell us it's locked. And then flip this. So next I just press time, 2 minutes, and start. And pH shows up as preheating. It's going to steam out of here, and it's going to, vent kind of just like a pressure canner does, except for instead of you having to put on a regulator, it will automatically seal. This is not a replacement for a canner, by the way. But it will automatically seal, and then once it comes back up to pressure, it will start this time. In order to peel these eggs appropriately, it doesn't matter what method you use for cooking them, you should put ice, you should make ice water and cool off the eggs before peeling. In our case, we've decided just to go with these water bottles that have been frozen. I put them in a Ziploc bag, because we use them for a variety of things, and we can just keep things, clean that way. But this will super cool the water so that it's ready for the eggs when they're ready to come out. And I'm doing 2 of these large containers because I think they won't all fit in one. There you go, you hear that sound? That means it's open. And there we go. This one cracked. You guys see that? It was all puffed up. Alright. So now we want to get these as quickly as possible into our ice water bath. And it doesn't really matter at this point if you crack them, because you're going to take the shell off of them anyway. So these are going into the fridge, and these are still have ice, and those are going to cool off in the fridge for a few hours. So I got this egg peeler online. It was expensive, and it did take a long time to get here, but I figure it will make me do this more often. So first thing is to get 2 bowls, and I am short on clean bowls, so I'm just going to use these containers and put some eggs in them. Now, you don't need to crack them a lot. In fact, it's better if you crack them less for this egg roll. Okay, we're shaking it. You are supposed to keep water on the rollers. I'm just screwing this back in. And if you do it this way, you're not going to have a problem keeping water on the rollers. It's just going to happen because they're going to be wet. So what I do is I put this in here, hold it down just a little bit, and it starts to peel. Just like that. Now, these are not the best hard-boiled eggs right here. And the first time I did this, it went really smoothly. You just keep this wet here and take your eggs that you've somewhat kind of shooken up, and I'm just rinsing them back in the cold water before I put them in another container. What I found is that it's easiest and works best if you put the tip of the egg, so the bottom of the egg, if that's what comes into contact with the roller. So small side, if you go like that and then it just peels it, you might have to press down again a little bit. There you go. There we go. That's a better angle. So sometimes it gets some of this material here. I just leave my finger there until it makes it go through. It's just wrapped around and it needs to stop wrapping. That's all that's happening. There's a perfect one. Rinse it off. There you go. So I've seen people do several of these at a time. Now see, there's one where the yolk was too close to the, there's one where the yolk was too close to the edge. And that's why I pre-plan to have some of these be deviled eggs and some of them be for egg salad, because it doesn't matter if some of them are like that. Ooh, that one's slurping the whole thing through. All right. So you have some that are perfect and good and great, and then you have others that you can turn into egg salad. And some of these will also be like, you can use, like this one, you can just cut it here, use this half for the deviled egg, and then this half is just kind of, you know, mushed up, and you can use that for egg salad or, you know, some other dish where it doesn't have to be perfect. So like here's another one where I might use the other half as deviled egg and this half as something else. Anyway, this machine saves so much time. And I did figure out the first time that I used it that shaking the eggs too much can be detrimental, because it doesn't then pull it off, it just has to pick it off in chunks. So just a little bit is better. So this is shaking it up. And this is just getting micro cracks. And it actually works even better if you put it back. I think I'm going to do that with this batch. Try and keep it straight. Because then the water gets in between, the membrane and the egg. Alright, so back to this. You just take it out of here, a little bit of pressure, and you can see some of these got a little too much in the way of crackings. And those ones peeled pretty much perfectly. Another case when it's just getting wrapped around and it just needs to be interrupted. I'm just very lightly putting my finger on here, just very lightly. I don't need to get sucked into the middle. There may be a better way to do that, but that's just the way that I found. And then you can replenish with the water if you'd like. But in any case, it's a whole heck of a lot faster to do it this way than the other way, which I'll show you. I also did learn that when you're doing this, you should really put your hair up, because I had a hair go down and get wrapped around that. That's kind of hard to come off. So pretty easy if you follow the manufacturer's Didn't have any issues. You can see this one had a lot of cracks on it. And I'm having to do a lot to get it off. And other ones that don't have a whole lot of cracks, they'll just peel it right off. So there is a learning curve probably if you shake it too hard, you know. There's probably a learning curve there. Look at this big one. I did try this on chicken eggs and it's too small. I thought it would be great to have one machine to do both. Boy, that looks like a double yolker. One over here, one over there, doesn't it? So all these shells fall right underneath. And you can put, I suppose you could put a container there. That might have been smart. So far I haven't been doing that. Now this can be cleaned up. You're not supposed to put this in the sink or anything like that, so don't do that. But all our shells fit in there. And we will get this cleaned up. So this is that whole bowl. And as you can see, there's some that are, you know, uneven, and that's because of the way we did the hard boiling in the new wave. If we were to do it in, you know, boiling water, this yolk, and stirring it, this yolk would be centered. So keep that in mind in how you do it. For what I'm doing, it doesn't matter. Now I'm doing deviled eggs, so this is exposed. I'm going to cut like that. Okay. Pop that in there. And what I do when I do deviled eggs is I put extra yolk in it. So I just put that there, and then this will go in a container for our egg salad. And I won't do that for all the yolks, but for some of them. And we need a place for these. Now, if anybody has any quail-sized deviled egg things, let me know. I think we'll put these here and the yolks over here. Is that okay?
Where do you want it?
And we can put a couple per hole over here. You don't want to put it on the board?
Huh?
You don't want to put it on the board?
Hmm. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Double yolk?
Oh, is it a double yolk? Show the camera. You got a double yolk. That's a very small double yolk, isn't it? Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be. So with that one you can... I know you probably don't want to use both sides, huh?
No. This one is broken. You want to use it?
We can cut it that way, see what you get. Hey, there's one. It's all full. I can see the yolk is close to the center there, or close to the edge though. Yeah. That's fine.
You're keeping it there?
Yeah. We don't have to take out all the yolks. I'm just putting a little extra yolk in there. That's all. Because this will be egg salad, which is good with yolks.
Okay.
But this does need to be over here. So this is an example of a way to do things perfectly imperfect. No one's gonna know what the other half of the egg looked like, right? And you can still use it. I have to go get my other containers. I think they're in the car. You can double up on those.
Hmm?
You can put two to a thing, I think.
Okay. You add mayonnaise to this?
Mayonnaise, mustard, and Worcestershire sauce.
Okay.
Somebody with a 3D printer, print me some baby ones of these for our quail. It's a good request, right?
Yeah. That'll be good.
Alright. I'm going to start on the mix.
How many are you making? Just this trace?
Yeah, there's going to be 10 people, so everybody can have a few. We can do more if you want to do more.
I think that's plenty.
Yeah. Okay, so for this, for this recipe, I have mayonnaise, which yes, you could make your own, mustard, and Worcestershire sauce. Those are the only ingredients other than eggs that I use. And this is eggs. So I'm going to get started on this while he's finishing up. Oh, I guess you only have one left, huh? Alright. So what I do is I just take a fork and I mash. So the reason why I said it's always better to have more yolk is that if you want your deviled eggs to be really full, it takes more yolk.
Fair enough.
Maybe. Let's see. You can always make more if it's not. Alright, so that's the first mash, right? Second is mayonnaise. And you can put too much. I don't like it to be like, I don't like it to taste like mayonnaise. I just want it to have mayonnaise in it. Other people like to have different amounts of things, so I'm just giving you the ingredients. You get to experiment because I never measure it. And because it's good not to have something that you have to go by. What if you have a different number of eggs or different party or whatever? So there's the mayonnaise, here's the mustard, which I need to shake up first. And Worcestershire sauce. You don't need to add salt because this has salt in it. Some people add other things in here. I've seen all sorts of stuff, but I like mine simple and tasty. If you'd like to, you can take an immersion blender and blend this up. I don't think it's necessary. I did just make this a little bit more watery than I wanted them to, but that's okay. All right, here's the taste test. Clean finger. I think it's good. I think it needs a little bit more mustard. So again, this is to taste. If you don't like something, change it. You know, people put onion, which I think is disgusting, in here. I've seen people do pickle relish, celery, peppers. You can add whatever you want to it. That's the beauty of making your own food. I fill it just like I do cookies. Take a little bit here, take the back of the spoon, scrape it in. Now that one's going to need a little more. Now last time I made deviled eggs, I made double-decker deviled eggs. And I had chicken egg on the bottom, but our chickens, only one of them has been laying because of the heat. And we did something else with our eggs, so we're not doing double-decker. And I did do too much liquid on here, but that's okay because it's still going to be yummy and people are still going to eat it. If you'd like to go fancy, you can put this in a bag and pipette it out, or pipe it out. You fit 2 extra ones on this one? The lid's right there by the mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep the 2 extra ones in here then. Oh, maybe we could have done it like this, sideways. Oh, what did you do? There's all double yolker. That'll get extra filling. Alright, so paprika is what I like to have on top. Some people don't like it, so I have one tray with no paprika, and we'll probably bring this along with us. And they're so tiny, it's kind of hard to just get it on it. Alright, that's ready for the refrigerator. Where's the, oh, the lid's underneath. So for me, the paprika is what pulls it all together, but some people don't like it. Oh, that's why you put extra yolks in. Look at this. You use almost all of it.
Yep.
Oh, well, that one gets extra apparently. All right, here we go. There's our deviled egg. Cheers. They're always so good. I hope this encourages you to go through the work of doing the deviled eggs for the quail eggs. It's wonderful. Thanks for watching. Please share this with someone who likes eggs. Have a good day.